This is how you troubleshoot a 220 volt disconnect for your AC condenser. So you got the line, it'll be marked, and I have 115 on one leg and 9 or 10 on the other leg. So we're missing a phase. It's not giving me the 240. The other thing you can check for this is the trigger wire that goes to the contactor in the condenser. So you open it up. If there's already splicing, you check for a proper voltage. Crystal's crisp, what voltage should you be reading?
24.
24 volts what? It's working. You can hear the clicking over.
Oh.
24 volts AC, DC.
This DC?
No, AC. To find your condenser, obviously it's going to be a 2-pole because it's 220. Most of the time these are 30. They can be up to 60 or even more depending on how big your condenser is. Here's a quick little hack. You take this, since we know we're missing one phase, see that? That one is not, seems to not be putting out. So it saves you the trip of opening this panel. Doesn't always work, but might save you 5 minutes. So always check both faces on the 2 poles. It is a little deceiving sometimes. As you can see, individually they do show me 114, but when I always take a reading between both legs, and if it's not putting it out 240, it means one of the faces is not working. So always check both faces. So after all the troubleshooting, we identified that the 2-pole breaker is bad. After you remove the breaker, check the bus work for any melting, burning, because that sometimes happens from the arcing. Maybe the tabs on the breaker came loose and it started frying up the buswork. So always check for that as well. After replacing the breaker, it's always good to make sure this is fully pushed in. Label it, the panel, and then make sure it's working. It will kick on. Sometimes you've got a 5-minute delay. And once you verified everything's working, you take this, take a concrete floor, smash it. Did it. You did a good job.
No.